Hi, and welcome to the Indie Music Podcast, the podcast for independent musicians and other audio professionals. We're your hosts. I'm Matt Denton, also known as Mojo of Ragged Birds Music. I'm a Bay Area mix engineer and recording artist. And Douglas Reynolds of Resonance Mastering, a mastering engineer in Bloomington, Illinois.
Welcome to Indie Music Podcast, episode 218. Tonight, Matt and Doug chat with Thadeus Gonzalez, a Bay Area music performance and recording artist. Thaddeus talks about his two new singles, Still in Your Mind and Death of a Good Hustle. We talk about his signing with Rebel Wave Records, his upcoming album Opposite Faces, and what it's been like to work with producer Tim Narducci of The Watchers. We get into how the pandemic has changed the way he's been working and his weekly Facebook Live Thursdays with Thaddeus acoustic concerts. It was great chatting with Thaddeus. Enjoy the show.
Thaddeus.
What's up, fuckers?
What is up?
How's it going?
Hey, Thaddeus.
It's going great. How you doing, man?
It's a sunny, lovely day in wherever the fuck in the Bay Area.
That's right. Well, I'm across the bay from you. I'm up in here.
Nice.
Doug's
What's
over
going
in Indiana, right, Doug?
Illinois.
Sorry.
That's right.
How's Illinois?
It's been beautiful. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, cool. It seems funny when there's so much. All of a sudden, I'm in the studio for in COVID, and all of a sudden now it's like there's so much interviews and all these things going on all the time now.
Well, that's cool though.
It's cool. It's different. Yeah, it's different. It's just a year of not doing anything, and all of a sudden things are very busy.
Yeah. Well, let's get right into that.
Yeah.
You're known locally for your really electric live shows, and I know it's been tough for you not playing out. So, how are you coping with that?
Well, honestly, I don't have this real need to go. I like being on the road. So if I can't be on have a 3-week run, then I'm sort of just to go play a show is kind of fun. But I really I like touring.
Oh,
that's
okay.
kind of yeah. It's I like playing shows. Shows is fun, and if there's a show coming up. But when I was younger, the opportunities to be out on the road didn't happen as frequently. It was it never fucking happened.
Huh.
It was I would play once a month when I was a kid, and it was in the Bay Area or something. And it was just now being able to go and have a tour itinerary and then going on the road. That's way more fun to me. It's way more appealing than just having one show. Unless it's a really big show, but,
right.
Playing at Slim's or Bottom of the Hill or some club here. If it's a really awesome show, it's rad. But most of the time I'd rather be on the highway, driving and doing sound checks and shit like that.
So do you have that on the schedule? Do you have something getting ready to go?
No, not. My agent said that things are opening up, but it really comes down to what states are going to be open, and if in the fall there could potentially be a tour, but it'd be we'd have to beeline to Middle America where things are open, and so it'd be instead of doing up through the Pacific and going up to through Oregon, Seattle, Idaho, Denver, Kansas City, and going back around through Texas, you wouldn't do something like that. We'd have to go straight through to Kansas City and play around those areas and then come back.
Oh wow!
I'm not really sure if that's going to happen. I'm not totally sure, but it would be something like that. And there's so many bands who want to be on the road right now.
Yeah,
everybody wants to be on the road right now.
Yeah, it's going to explode when things open up, man. It's going to explode.
Yeah, things are going to be crazy. And I don't have there's bands that are way bigger than me, even at my level, who if they went on the road, bookers would want to have them before they'd have me.
Yeah.
So it's there's a pecking order right now for sure.
Sure.
And that's fine. That is what it is.
Yeah. So you got a couple of new singles out right now.
Yeah.
So you got Still in Your Mind, and you got Death of a Good Hustle. Now I understand that Still in Your Mind is just a single and not from your album, but Death of a Good Hustle is from your upcoming album.
Right. I had recorded so much music that it was just no way to just put certain songs really lumped together sounded like they should be albums. And then like Still in Your Mind could have been on the next album, but it was like, it just dropped, and signing with Rebel Waves Records and Todd Severin and kind of knowing that he wanted to put stuff out. It was just a good opportunity to start putting out music instead of having it a part of the albums or album,
Yeah, that's interesting. That's kind of a luxury to have enough music that you can say, you know what, this one fits my album theme. I'm going to put it on the album. This one doesn't. I'm just going to throw it out there as a single. That's pretty cool.
I mean, now because of all the breaks of things going on right now, I've already written a few more tunes, which I'm going to go back into June in the studio in June with Tim. And I'll record about 4 new songs and then a cover tune. And then some of those songs are in the second album are going to be pushed off the second album and are going to be singles because I just have a lot of material.
That's awesome.
And I'm just like, it's time to put out. Yeah.
That's a nice problem to have, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
He's so prolific. Now, I never really asked you this. I mean, we've kind of known each other a little bit, and I haven't seen you in person since you played with the Watchers at Bottom of the Hill that time. I still have that poster up here. That was such a great show.
That's so awesome you were there. That was a good show. That was a fun show.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you how it was like working with Tim, but first no, let's just go right to there. I forgot what I was going to say. How's it been like working with Tim from the Watchers? It
was fun, and it's been, now we're, super rad friends.
Sure.
But the thing is that there's so many issues with COVID and his brother passing.
Right. That was sad. And his dad too.
Yeah. And his dad, that was lingering. So when I started working with him, his dad had passed, I think it was like maybe 2 months before. So it was like, it just kind of became a bummer stuff constantly happening. And it definitely made our friendship stronger. And it seemed like, because like I talked about how I rely on other people to get my music out and to record it and all those things, like, a few different drummers, a few different bass players. I think it took his mind off a lot of the things going on.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the benefits of it, because it's like, there was a lot of heavy stuff going on, and it seemed like it was like, what do you do? But you get into work.
Right. You had a tough year. Yeah, that's a good way to take your mind off of stuff. And you know what? That's kind of a blessing that you were there with a project and stuff to do for him to take his mind off of stuff. So no, he's working on Watchers things, but probably not enough.
Right. There's this, like with my previous producers, there's this one-on-one thing going on, because once drums are tracked and we decide who's going to, because Tim played a majority of the bass, but once the other bass players were done, it's basically me and him on guitars screwing around. And that really takes up a lot of the, your brain. You're in the studio, it's like, instead of him sitting down and listening to bands play, it's like he's involved, he's recording, he's in the process,
right? More
than just producing or recording or engineering.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Is that so you don't have like a standing band? You kind of work with whoever you can at the time. Is that right?
I had a standing band. And there's an artist of mine, one of my favorite artists is PJ Harvey. If you guys
know. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, she's fucking around.
She's fucking around.
Yeah, she's fucking around. But I started noticing when she came out, her first like 2 or 3 videos were with a band.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, and she's a solo artist. And as her career elongated or became extended, became like a real career, it became her. And I kind of look at it as my career like that. And I started out I tried to start out with a band. You tried, but it doesn't work out when you're a solo artist. It's like, because I want it my way.
Right.
And if it's not going to happen my way, then I got to get people to get involved with, get behind me and do what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. And it's, and I worked with some in my first solo project after I left, when I first recorded Utopian Society, when I was with
Electric Sister,
Dennis Hill, I had written a bunch of songs. And I went in there and I had to pull a bass player from Electric Sister and the drummer from the band Lit, if you guys have heard of Lit,
Yep.
who did drums on both of my first solo albums. And I had to kind of piece together this album, which was really just written on acoustic guitar. So it did start out, the nucleus started with me being a solo, being by myself, but then I needed a band, and then people got on board and were with me for about 2 or 3 years.
Oh, okay.
And then it started changing. So now I have a few different drummers, a few different bass players, a few different guitar players. And it really depends, especially when I start touring and getting on the road. It's like, that's a commitment.
Yeah.
It's like a commitment. If I'm gone 5 months out of the year, that's a commitment. It's like, I've got to be paying them really good money, or they've got to just, and sleeping on couches.
Right.
It's got to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a life going on. Everybody has a life. So
yeah, it's interesting, that approach, because there's certain people, some iconic people who, they have, and I kind of learned this later, and I think most people either learn this later or maybe don't even know, like people like Trent Reznor and Prince, and people who 9 Inch Nails, but he records most of the stuff himself, and Prince recorded almost everything himself. And then when they went on tour, they put a band together for the tour, so it'd be a touring band, like the Beach Boys or whatever. There's another one, the Beach Boys. So you're more like PJ Harvey in the sense that you assemble people to do a project more than have a band, and you pick and choose whoever's available or who is the style, or how does that work?
I'm just not talented enough to play drums or to play a lead guitar solo. Like I can hear it in my head, and with Tim, the guitar solos that he did, we'll go high, go higher. It was very like Wolf Wind like this, and it was very like bouncing off this idea of what I'd always heard in my head when I was writing the songs in my living room. And since he's a better player than me, it comes out better. What I imagined was reimagined. And it's always beneficial for me to be working with people who are more talented than me. It's better. It's always been better. And luckily enough, I've not played with people who are shabby. All the people I've worked with have just been awesome. Incredible. They they lift my songs up.
Right. That's cool.
Matt was telling me that you have signed with a record company.
Yeah, I signed with Rebel Waves Records, which is a local, because my last album I signed with this with Spectra Records, which was on the East Coast.
Oh, really?
And I never talked to I very frequently talked to the guy who signed me. It was just like, it was on the phone, and it was very, and they did what they really needed me to do. But on this next album, I so wanted someone who was more hands-on, and my status was elevated just enough so that I was on his radar. I was on his radar before I started working with Tim, and it was cool. But I wanted someone who was local. I wanted someone who I could text on the phone. I wanted this personal relationship, and I didn't have that with Spectra. Not that that was a bad thing, because it was what I needed at the time. But now it's very like texting. And Ripple Records is a big conglomerate now.
Oh yeah.
It's a big record label, and Rebel Waves is just can put someone like me who's not stoner rock.
Yeah.
I like ballads. I like, I want to, I like things like that. So that fits on that. It's okay for Rebel Waves Records for me to be on it. But the local thing and the friendship and the like, hey dude, how's it going? All that stuff is really important to me. It's just like, it felt okay with Spectra at the time, and it felt right then. And now this feels right where I'm at. And so I don't know what the next thing will be, but I'm just going to keep working,
Yeah,
so.
That makes sense. It's funny. I saw that you were signed with Rebel Waves. I didn't realize at the time it was an imprint of Ripple. Because, I know Todd. Todd is such a cool guy. And he's so friendly, so hands-on, and so cares so much about the music. And,
right.
And that's I didn't put two and two together there, but that's so cool. All of the stuff coming together.
yes, like Sacred Shrines and Moon Coven and Kabbalah, those those bands they're just so avant-garde and so, they're noodly and they're far out. They're very psychedelic. It wouldn't fit with, the hard stuff that's on the Ripple roster. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't even fit on that shit. Like, I don't even fit. Like my shit's a little too, whatever that is. But but I'm just lucky that he supports what I'm doing. Being an artist being a songwriter, artist, or whatever I'm doing, it's not the easiest thing. It's kind of odd. It's very odd. So
that's funny that you put it that way. How do you classify your own music? I just think of it as like, like rock or, slightly heavy rock or maybe alternative. But I mean, like you hate to put stuff in a box, but when you tell people about it, you got to say something. What do you call it?
I'd just say I'm hard rock. I'd say I'm hard rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear a lot of, there's so much, I've heard so many things of what I sort of sound like, but the general thing to just be like, I play hard rock.
Yeah. And
when I try to get out of it, of not going fucking duh, or, something like that, it feels like I'm not doing the right thing.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, it's like I should be rock. But like the next album, there's not a lot of that on. The next album's pretty like, it's just a different vibe. This album's got a lot of different vibe. The new album's got a lot of different stuff on it. So
when you say the new album, you mean the one that's coming out next, like in June or whatever?
Yeah, Opposite Faces. Yeah. Like even with Death of a Good Hustle, there's the rock element, but there's trying to give it this mood is what I was trying to do. And then I think what I talked about, like Roger Waters and a lot of the stuff post Pink Floyd, he really sits things down and lets the songs kind of marinate.
Yeah.
Without going into riffs, where Silver Inside, my previous album, it was like riff, guitar solo, riff, scream, riff, scream. It's just like,
I like that though.
I liked it too.
The Nude Land, great song. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But it's like, if I'm planning, I'm not ever planning. If people think they're going to hear me making a right turn, it's not. I'm going to make a left. It's like, it's like the next single I'm doing is I'm putting out In Excess, Never Tear Us Apart, which I recorded.
Oh, nice.
And that song's been done a million times. But I saw this Oasis documentary. Have you guys seen that?
No.
No. And they just the Liam and Noel Gallagher in this. It's the Michael Hutchinson documentary of In Excess.
Got it.
And Oasis accepts this award from Michael Hutchinson, and they kind of like they belittle him. They talk shit about him at this awards thing, saying like a has been given a newcomer the award. They just kind of crap on him. Huh. And and so I was like, I want to hear some of this more of this In Excess stuff. And so I'd heard that song, but I kind of rethought it out.
Yeah.
And told Tim about it. And then Tim played great guitar on it. And, I strummed it and we did the stuff on it. But it's a really good reimagining of that song.
Nice.
I'll be releasing really soon. Yeah.
I really like In Excess. I think Michael Hutchins was awesome. He just had a great voice and a great sensibility. Even right back to their debut album, which was amazing.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of their stuff, but when at that level, when I saw the documentary on Mike, and I think it's on like Amazon Prime, but them Oasis talking shit about this guy I was kind of like, he's kind of rad, right? It seemed super petty. Yeah,
like they have a kind of a rep for being petty and ripping on people that are more talented than them, but that's another story.
Yeah, but they're fucking awesome.
No, they're
Oasis
good.
They're one of my favorites, but at that level, I'd be like, that's that guy. But they did it in front of this massive audience at some European award thing. And it was just like, ouch.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks. I was like, I'm going to make your song good, dude. That's what I'm going to do. This one's for you.
Right. Well, let's take a minute and hear Death of a Good Hustle now that you brought it up, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, let's play some of that now.
start anew. Forget your own mistakes. Forget the tricks you played. Hustle to the grave and start anew. Turn out, bury your demons down, start anew. The death of a good hustle. The death of a good hustle.
I'm really digging the vibe of that one. Definitely hard rocky.
Total hard rocky. Total.
Any inspiration about that one you want to talk about?
There's an opening track on as funny as it is on Noel Gallagher's solo album. I can't remember what it's called, but it's an instrumental song. And I just liked the way the rhythm was going. And I remember thinking like, I'm going to do something like that. And now, of course, when you say it's going to do something like that,
right,
it never turns out like that. It just doesn't. So it turned into that. So
that's funny.
Yeah. It never is what you think it's going to turn out to be.
It's weird how that works, right? No matter how much you try. It's like, if I could just make it come out of my brain into the studio, then that would be good.
Or be odd, or be plagiarism, and they'd be like, "Dude, you sound like
right."
So
tell us a little bit about. I see you. I know you pivoted a bit into since you couldn't play out, you started doing some Facebook Live stuff. You do your Thursdays with Thaddeus, and you do like acoustic sets from. I'm thinking where you're sitting right now.
Yeah, this is it. I just chill. This is it. Well, I screw up a lot, and I think that's the main thing. Is that I screw up constantly, and I practice a good amount, but I screw up a lot, and it doesn't really matter because I'm just trying to play a song, trying to get the emotion out. I'm trying to do that, and that if that works, that works. But a lot of chords, like I did Bruce Springsteen's last Thursday night in my hometown it's so easy. It's like G and then it's like D, C, D, G. It's really easy, but it's like, I just fucked that up the whole time. And when you hit those wrong chords, the verses, whatever he sings, if you hit the wrong chords, the song just goes, it just crashes. And I don't think I played that part right, even though I'd rehearsed it a million times. And I don't know. It's just like, there's a lot, I do a lot of scripts, and then sometimes I do songs really well. And I do a monthly newsletter, and I'll pull those really songs I do really well, and I'll put those in the newsletter just to kind of spice it up.
That's cool.
And it's not that I do the song. If I can catch the song in a really good thing, because it's like most of the time it's hard to get a really good take of something when you're live, especially when you're 9 songs in a row. It's not recording. It's just playing, playing. But it's been fun. It's been fun learning hell of chords.
That's what I was going to ask, if you're having fun doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super fun. And the thing is that it's like now, so that like you learn these chords, and I go, if I take that chord and that chord, all of a sudden I'm writing a new song. And then it's like, well, fuck, I don't, it's just a lot of music. So it's constantly going.
I think it's really good too, especially in this time, and not having the live gigs and not having the face-to-face and touch with fans, where you make yourself available in a social live situation like that, where you still have your outlet of playing, and you give your fans and other people an opportunity who haven't heard you yet to get introduced. And I think it's a really good thing for any musicians, artists, whatever, to be doing at this point in time.
Right. So, I've noticed that a lot of the bands that not a lot of them, but a majority of them, they kind of have fallen off the face of the earth. Some of the bands I've done shows with around wherever, it's because there's just no avenue.
Right.
And no one is presenting themselves in this light and just being like, well, you know what? I'm just going to fucking play guitar. That's kind of a weird thing to do in general, just to, just to start playing guitar for people. So I'm lucky in that aspect, but I get it. This is like it's a weird time for people, and to be like, I'm going to sit in front of my computer every Thursday and I start singing at people. I think it's kind of lame, but it's awesome,
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some bands go, well, fuck it, I'm just going to go hang out with my kids. I'm going to go, do something else. And I've seen other ones go, you know what, we're just going to like secretly collaborate over the internet or get back in the studio and make some new music quietly. And then just like, boom, it's out there. I'm starting to see the results of that right now. And then there's people like you that just like pivoted. Well, you know what? I my thing is playing live, and I can't just not do anything. So I'm just gonna hop on the internet, and I've seen people put up tip jars and make it a weekly thing like you with a theme, and I just think that's really cool to be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I'm lucky to have that inkling of talent to be able to do that, because a lot of a lot of people don't. To go and play because I'll go on YouTube and I'll try to find like some song by whoever, and the person will say like, yeah, but when you're playing it, somebody's singing this, so you can't, and I can't do that. And I'll be like, you know what, I can fucking do that. I can sing and play that stupid little lick, and it's just like, that's awesome. That's an awesome feeling to be able to do that. That's that's Bob Dylan. That's everything comes back to that. Stupid guy in the guitar.
Right.
It's always that,
Oh, does that mean you're going to get one of those little harmonica things around your neck? You're going to get one?
I have one. I have one. Yeah, I have one. And it's, the problem is I'm not very good at harmonica. So I have it, and it's like, I think I need to take lessons. Yeah. It's a good idea.
I think it looks like it's easy, and it's not.
Right. I watched a lot on YouTube. I watched a lot of full concerts. Mm-hmm. And if you guys heard of Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot for the last 3 weeks. I've been watching, I'll like get stuck on live bands at certain eras because they'll have the full concerts,
Oh, okay.
And I've been watching Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, and he started implementing that, but he can fucking play.
Oh, yeah.
The guy can play the harmonica. And it's like, it becomes this whole new sonic thing to it adds to their songs, you know, and the guys clearly had to have taken lessons or something, but it's add a lot of drama and dynamics to their shows. Super fun to watch.
Huh, that's interesting. You know who locally plays really good harmonica? Have you ever seen Zepparella?
No, but I know who they are.
Yeah, Anna Christina, who
the singer,
the lead singer, is she plays a really mean harmonica. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, I tried to pick it up. I have a few harmonicas, and I was like, you know what? This is not as easy as they made it look. Also, it annoys everybody in the house when you're trying to learn it.
Right. It's loud. I got the 6 harmonica keys. I got
cool.
I bought the whole package of all harmonicas and all the different keys. But dude, that doesn't
right.
that doesn't mean anything.
You got to be like,
like
John Hopper with your your vest and have a harmonica in each pocket.
Yeah.
Know which one.
There's nothing. There's no. That's all funny. I bought it. I bought that. I bought the harness. But boy, it doesn't seem to work. I think it's broken.
It's broken.
That's funny.
That is funny. Oh, so let's listen to the other song, the one you released as a single. Still in Your Mind.
Yeah.
Let's check that out. Yeah, I dig that one.
Yeah, that's a fun tune.
So I was a little surprised, and maybe I shouldn't be, but it's just because of the business that we're in and the people that I know personally, that you don't do a lot of home recording. You don't like have a studio in your house or wherever.
Because I'm not that competent. That's why I'm just not.
Are you saying you would if you could? Or,
I mean,
or you just don't want to buy? You just like you don't have the patience for that. You're like, screw it. I'd rather go to a professional studio with a producer and get it done for real, kind of thing, or what?
It's just not my bag. It's not my bag. It's not like I don't have any interest in it.
Yeah,
it's all it is. Yeah, I like writing songs. I like playing my guitar and singing and putting pen to paper. But as far as the next step, I would rather just go to a studio because, I'm just not really, to think of recording myself seems like, I don't know, maybe it's taken away from worrying about the next song that I want to write.
Yeah.
And a lot, and I'm big on lyrics. I'm big on all that stuff. So I don't know. I think that might be my deal. Like, it's just not really my bag.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Plus, you probably feel a lot more comfortable in a studio setting, and just it's where you go to work.
Well, like I just wrote a song last night. I'm all about it, and I've been playing that a million times all day. And then I record on my phone so I don't forget it.
Right.
But it's like if this stupid recording on my phone can get me off when I'm on a walk or a run or whatever, it's like, well, that's what I'm going for. It's just enough. If the quality is so cruddy that I'm still excited, well, that's everything to me. Because then I could go to a studio, pretty sure it's going to turn out awesome or totally to my satisfaction,
That's cool.
And and you go to a studio, super fun. Going to a recording studio is always a treat.
Yeah.
Or it can be.
It can be. Do you have any?
It can be until you're like, I don't want to sing this again.
Do you have any favorites in the Bay Area? Places you like to record?
I've only when I do, and when I'm in the studio, it's like a 3-week. Well, it's longer, but usually it's a 3-week lockout, and most of them have been in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I did record a demo, and I did. Do you know Michael Rosen? And
rings a bell.
Yeah, he did. He's done. He's worked with Santana and Rancid and all these bands. But I did a song with him right before I started working with Tim. I recorded one song that I haven't released yet, and we had a bunch of fantastic musicians come in and play on the song. But that's a great studio. It's eluding me right now what it's called.
Was it Prairie Sun?
But what's that?
Prairie Sun?
No, it's not like it's nothing. It's like
or was that little place over just on the other side of the bridge in Oakland, Pittsburgh area? There's a cool studio over there.
No, it's not that. It's called like I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, but he's a notable recording guy. But I did one song with him at that studio. But the other, like Utopian Society, Silver and Side, were recorded in Orange County at a studio called The Lodge.
Oh, okay.
And then this one was recorded. These two coming up were done in at Tim's studio, which is Sonic Room Studios.
Okay.
And as far as I feel like to skip around, like when I record, because I don't record at my house, it has to be a bigger project, and it has to be a allotted amount of time. If I was in my house doing it, like that kind of goes on with the last thing. It's like, if I was in my studio, I'd kind of just be screwing around on recording these songs, where now when I do an album or something, it's like, it's a really kind of like a big project.
Right.
And so I don't have a lot of time I can't screw around at a lot of different studios. It's always like this big project here, and then don't do anything for a while, write music, and go back to another big project. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know, but working with the one song that I recorded with Michael Rosen, I did that because I needed to start working on tours. I think I did the Surgeons tour, which was North American, and that was fall of 2019. And then I was like, yeah, let's work on this one song. And a double album with a producer at that capacity was not in my budget. And so we just did one song. And then I talked to Tim, and Tim was kind of like, yeah, we can work something out. So it worked out cool. Better all around.
Yeah.
So,
and now you have connections. Tim has a lot of connections.
Yeah. Tim's awesome.
Yeah. He's a good guy. Well, I think we're getting close to end of time here. You want to tell us any more about your album when it's coming out? We're going to put all the links in the show to your socials and everything else you want.
Yeah. Let's see. It comes out July 16th, Opposite Faces. And it's a pretty substantial departure from Silver Inside.
Okay.
It's just, the songs are different. It's just a different vibe. And I'm really happy with it. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And the artwork's great. It's good stuff.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, definitely looking forward to hearing more from you and your project and the album coming out. And apparently you have an album already coming out after that you're working on, which is fun.
Yeah. So that I think is coming out in the spring of next year.
Oh, wow.
And I'll be releasing once this album's done, I'll be releasing singles that aren't on the album in between, hopefully to get behind whatever tours are going on. If there does happen to be some type of touring for me from my agent in the fall, I'll put out a single that's not on Opposite Faces and then not on the new album. And then I'll kind of have that. So there's just a lot of music going to be coming out from me.
Awesome.
And I'm really lucky. Yeah, I'm really lucky about that.
Well, I really hope I get to see you out soon. We could hang for a bit. Maybe
your album when it comes out.
What's that?
Definitely looking forward to hearing your album when it comes out.
Nice. Thanks, Douglas.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yep. And to our listeners, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us, Thaddeus. And we will see you online, and we'll post all your links in the show notes. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Cheers.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, that wraps up another episode of the Indie Music Podcast. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends, or just leave us a review on iTunes if you like what you've heard. Find our social links and episode guide at indiemusiccast.com. Until next time, keep creating.